Hi, I'm Justin, and I'm here with,
I'm Jose Morgan.
yeah, and we did interactive paint as our senior project this semester.
So, interactive paint is a showcase of what can be done with different input devices, such as the Leap Motion, the RealSense, the Connect, a multi-touch display, as well as a framework for using these devices in future applications and future iterations of interactive paint itself.
So, some of the requirements we had were that future developers should be able to use the framework that we built during the semester to advance the project, as well as users should be able to use multiple input devices at the same time. And users should also be able to use input devices to make gestures and interact with the application. And here's a breakdown of all the work we did this semester by user story separated into sprints. You can see that we did complete all of the tasks on time for every sprint.
So, the main architectural decision that we made was to use the actor model. The actor model allows different components to act independent of each other. This allowed our framework for the input devices to be reusable in the future. It also allows for multiple users drawing at the same time, since the different input devices are completely independent of each other and them being used at the same time won't affect each other.
And here's some user stories that we'd like to highlight.
So, one of my most important user stories was when I began implementing the input devices. I started off with the Connect and the Leap Motion, and I had to make sure that these devices worked, that the input was being translated in such a way that could be easily used by developers to just implement into the application. And it also had to work with the actor model and be able to handle the multiple users drawing at the same time.
And here's one of my key user stories to add tools to the application UI, such as a new tool, save tool, line tool, rotate tool, and a color selection tool. And they all do what they sound like they do, I guess, so to speak. And one of my key requirements was to make sure that all of the tools could be easily switched to, like you could use one tool and then switch to another tool and there'd be no problems, and also that the user could find the interface intuitive and easy to use. And here is a screenshot of the application after the tools were added. So you can see at the bottom of the left screenshot the actual icons for the tools, and at the top of that screenshot you can see the new and save buttons, and to the right you can see some example code.
So here we have a use case diagram of the user drawing in the application. So in order to draw, the user needs to connect some kind of input device. They can connect multiple or just one. And then once the input devices are connected, they'll be recognized and the painter can begin to paint in the application.
And here we've got a simplified class diagram. So as you can see, the main class would be the interactive paint app, which has instances of all of the input devices such as the Connect, RealSense, and Leap Motion. And it also has an instance of the main view, which is the GUI, and the draw queue, which is used to actually draw things to the screen.
The draw queue is just an event queue that'll take inputs from the different input devices and will queue them up to be rendered whenever the renderer is ready to render. And here we have the the testing that we did. So because the application was split into multiple sub-projects, we had very little room for integration, but in our sub-project, we did have to integrate the uh, input devices into the tools and the drawing itself. Um, so most of the integration testing was done by us using the application and by getting other users to use the application and draw at the same time. Here we have some unit test cases. Our unit test mostly focused on testing the methods that handled taking information from the input devices, as well as some other methods that were built to make development easy, like this method here that checks if a circle gesture is a clockwise circle gesture.
And that's it for this part of the video. We're now going to show you a quick demo of the application. So for a quick demo of interactive paint, I'm going to select the square tool and draw a square with my mouse and keyboard really quick. And now I'm going to swipe over the leap motion and change the tool. So as you can see, now I'm drawing a circle. Even though I didn't select a circle, I just swiped over the leap motion. And that's pretty much it for the demo. All the other tools work in a similar fashion, and yeah, that's it.